Hi and welcome to my channel. Today I am going to talk about how my art style has progressed over the years and why I'm now focusing on realism instead of fantasy, pop surrealism and dark art, which have been my focus for a very long time. I will talk about my plans for the future and show you some of my old art to compare it to this new era of my art life. When I was a little girl, I only tried to draw realistically or in a comic book style, and mostly animals and a bit of nature. Horses were definitely my main focus, both as realistic as I could and copying my favorite comic book illustrator Lena Furuberg, who is a big name in the horse world of Sweden. I absolutely loved and still love her illustrations and artwork, and I wanted to be just like her. Drawing horses as a profession, what a dream! I continued to draw on and off throughout my teens, and my interests started to change. I discovered Salvador Dali and his surrealistic work when we were doing master copies in acrylic paint at school, age 14 or 15. I didn't know anything about fine art at that point, but a new world slowly opened up. As I got older, I started drawing and painting fantasy, surreal and dark art, which was against some family members' wishes. They tried to convince me to go back to realistic art, but I was even more convinced that it was boring and nothing I'd ever want to do again. Apart from a few exceptions, the last 20 years I've mostly drawn from imagination and frowned upon using reference photos. I saw it as a way to kill my creativity, the easy way out that would stop my ambition of becoming a real artist with a signature style. But as I found out through a couple of years of soul-searching when I've taken a long break from creating art, nothing could be further from the truth. While my mind was set on one direction for my art, I actually enjoyed realistic art from the old masters and especially the Vanitas and Memento Mori depictions from the Netherlands in the 17th century, which I discovered when I wrote my essay at college about this specific topic. I majored in art science or art history, and I could spend hours at the art museums in Stockholm or in the library looking at paintings and books. Symbolism got a special place in my heart, and I tried to incorporate a bit of it into my own art. But of course, I was nowhere near as good as the old masters, and during my ups and downs of schizoaffective disorder, my creativity dwindled and faded. I exhibited a lot during a year when I was a member of an art association, but then it died out. When I later joined a creative group where we followed Julia Cameron's book The Vein of Gold, I actually entered a sort of midlife crisis, especially around my art and where I was in regards to my artistic ambitions. All of a sudden, I didn't know what I wanted to do, where I should go or why I even created art in the first place. I quit the group a while later because I needed to focus on another private matter, but that led me to decide I should take a break from creating and posting on my social media art accounts. Several months later, I tried to come back with an art challenge of my own during October, where I was supposed to draw Swedish wildlife, a drawing every day for a month. I did 5 drawings and then quit. I was still not motivated to create, still in that midlife crisis. So I deleted the 5 Instagram posts and continued on with my big art break until this year. After all this time and inner discussions, I finally realized I wanted to go to an art school and learn realistic oil painting. And on the side, I wanted to do realistic drawings with colored pencils. I was surprised of this decision, especially after me having been very against it for so many years. So I enrolled in an online art school, but paused it after a couple of months since my life kind of changed. It was hard for me to do oil paintings since I only had half an hour here and there, and the paints dried up too fast. And when my maternity leave was over, I wanted to focus on what I actually could do right now that could generate money sooner than the oil painting course. So I opened my color pencil cases again after such a long time, and I started to draw my family's pets as gifts, and I loved it. This was the way I was supposed to take right now, that I could progress in pretty fast. I didn't need to worry about paint drying up too fast, and I could easily draw 15 minutes here and there and get a final result pretty quickly. Well, the drawings do take many hours to create, but when it's just a bit of time a few times a day, it doesn't feel overwhelming, stressing or exhausting. To change one's art style can be a bit difficult and scary if one has a following on social media. I only had like 700 followers on Instagram and I had about 30 here on YouTube, and I noticed a little drop of followers when I came out with a new style of content. But mostly I've gotten really nice feedback on my new path. So at the moment I only want to draw animals, pet portraits and eventually take commissions, and animal drawings after reference images from libraries online. I really want to do the Swedish wildlife series I thought about long ago, and after having planned out my year using Kelsey Rodriguez's Notion template for yearly goals, I will link to her video in the info box below, I now have a clear view of when I'm going to do this. I am so freaking excited for the rest of the year and my artistic journey, and I cannot wait to share it all with you guys. I may very well go back to fantasy and surreal art when I feel my skill set has been sharpened in a couple of years, but at the moment realism is what I want to focus on. Realistic animals, sometimes with fantasy colors and with some sort of interesting background or just on color papers. I'm going to completely stop trying to make art in a specific style and just paint and draw what I want right now. How do you feel about your art style and development? Please leave a comment below. I hope you liked this video and that it inspired you to go create something. Please consider subscribing and leave a thumbs up if you want to see more of my videos in the future. Take care, bye!